Most of us imagine failure as a catastrophic explosion, but the real tragedy is often much quieter. It is the sound of decades vanishing while someone sits in a state of comfortable stagnation. When you start with absolutely nothing, psychology shows that extreme scarcity forces a brutal split. It either paralyzes an individual with fear or compels them to move with a desperation that more comfortable people simply cannot match. The default human reaction to hitting rock bottom is to seek an immediate exit from the pain. We reach for cheap, instant comforts to numb the stress of our daily reality. Yet a small minority looks at that same zero and sees a blank slate. They recognize that their current lack of resources provides a rare kind of freedom to take risks that those with something to lose won't touch. If you study those who successfully build wealth from nothing, you find their initial advantage was never a secret bank account or a lucky break. It was a specific internal operating system. Financial success follows the development of a specific psychological architecture. Long before the first dollar arrives, these individuals build a mind capable of turning the pressure of scarcity into a tool for progress. This process begins with a concept called identity detachment. It is easy to look at a bank balance of zero and conclude that you are a zero. Most people internalize their financial lack, allowing their current circumstances to dictate their sense of worth and potential. Builders forcibly separate their temporary condition from their permanent identity. They might be broke, but they refuse to think like someone who is stuck. They use their current situation as a starting point, not a definition. You cannot escape a room if you believe you are the room. Refusing to adopt poverty as a core identity is the absolute prerequisite for changing it. The second divide centers on the relationship between action and comfort. Most people wait for a feeling of readiness or a surge of confidence before they move. They prioritize the safety of the known, even when the known is failing them. Wealth builders initiate action while afraid and uncertain. They treat the early stages as experiments, testing ideas and failing quickly before they ever feel ready. This trajectory requires enduring seasons of boredom and slow progress. They sacrifice present comfort for future gain. This period functions as a laboratory. Competence is forged here through raw repetition of work others find too tedious. While the majority waits for the perfect moment, the builder recognizes that taking unready action is the only way to generate true momentum. This leads to the third contrast, the individual's relationship with risk. Humans are wired to crave certainty. We often stay in failing situations because the danger of the new feels more threatening than the slow decay of the current. Escaping zero requires a total embrace of uncertainty. It demands the willingness to learn new skills, relocate, or start ventures that offer no guarantee of success. This isn't blind gambling. Successful risk-takers practice calculated discomfort. They learn to manage danger and mitigate the downside while moving toward the upside. Real progress requires a deliberate trade, leaving behind the comforting illusion of safety to face the calculated discomfort of the unknown. What internal engine can sustain this level of effort and uncertainty for years at a time? Many people are driven by the desire for praise and external validation, but applause is a weak fuel. It vanishes the moment you stop performing for others. Self-made individuals often rely on a much more sustainable source of energy, the memory of their own pain. They are fueled by memories of struggle, humiliation, or insecurity. The visceral experience of lack creates an emotional charge that makes the idea of returning to their old life intolerable. These individuals are rarely running towards a luxury lifestyle. They are running away from a version of reality they refuse to inhabit ever again. For many, building wealth serves as a necessary escape from a psychological cage created by their past circumstances. Money is a lagging indicator of success. Before the wealth appears in a bank account, it must first be built in a mind disciplined enough to survive the road to it.